It starts with a teenager's voice on a 911 line. Calm, shaking, describing holes in his mother's shirt. He tells the dispatcher he thinks she's been stabbed because the marks are so precise. He is 16 years old, and he is still in the house.
Now let's get to breaking news out of Virginia. Authorities there say former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife, then turned the gun on himself in a murder-suicide.
In 2017, Justin Fairfax was something rare.
I, Justin Fairfax,
I, Justin Fairfax,
solemnly
swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
So help me God.
So help me God.
The second black person ever elected to statewide office in Virginia. He was lieutenant governor, a former federal prosecutor, a man many genuinely believed would one day become governor. He had built something, a reputation, a family, a future. But that future had deep roots. Justin and Cerina met back in the late 90s at Duke University. They were college sweethearts. They built a life together for nearly 20 years. On June 17, 2006, they stood in the Netherlands Caroline Gardens in Arlington and said their vows. It was an outdoor wedding full of hope, full of ambition. By all accounts, they were a power couple, a successful dentist, a rising political star, 2 children, a $910,000 home, the American dream. And then in 2019, 2 women came forward. The first was Dr. Vanessa Tyson, an associate professor at Scripps College, a fellow at Stanford University. She alleged in 2004, during the Democratic National Convention in Boston, Justin Fairfax forced her to perform oral sex in a hotel room. He denied it. 2 days later, Meredith came forward, a former classmate from those Duke University days. She alleged he raped her in 2000 and described the attack as premeditated and aggressive.
What is it that you want as you sit here today and you're sharing your story with us?
I want some action from the Virginia legislature. I'll say this, there is no amount of money that can ever compensate for what he did to me or what I live with every day.
Are you seeking money?
No.
You're not seeking money?
No.
He denied that too.
Over the past 48 hours, 2 women have spoken on national television about allegations they have made against me based on events of nearly 15 and 20 years ago. These allegations, if true, would be incredibly serious. Because they are not true, however, they are incredibly hurtful to me and my family and my reputation, which I've spent a lifetime building.
Pause. 2 women, 2 separate incidents, years apart. But politically, the damage settled in. It changes the air around a person. And Justin Fairfax began to change with it. Friends say he withdrew, isolated, and quietly over time, he started to indulge in alcohol. Court documents described a man retreating into a home office littered with empty wine bottles, trash, and piles of dirty laundry. A judge would later call it a sense of fatalism and hopelessness. By 2024, the marriage had reached a breaking point. In December 2024, they tried one last time to fix it or at least end it safely by signing a post-nuptial agreement. But Justin didn't just break the promise, he ignored it. Cerina would later testify that he failed to follow that agreement in any form. On June 1st, 2024, they officially separated but stayed under the same roof. Separate bedrooms, separate lives. A home that had become a legal battlefield. The weeks leading into April 2026 were not explosive. They were quiet, calculated, a slow accumulation of pressure. But the deeper you look, it was always there. January 2026, Justin called the police. He claimed Cerina had assaulted him, but Cerina had installed cameras inside of the home. The footage told a different story. His claim was false. And then there was the warning sign everyone missed. Back in 2022, Justin experienced what a judge called an adverse psychological event. He left the house with a gun and a suitcase. Police eventually found him alone in the woods of a nearby public park. He was unraveling. In March 2026, the financial walls began to cave in. Justin was legally obligated to provide for his family, but he wasn't. Cerina testified that he had completely stopped contributing. He was supposed to pay 50% of their children's private school tuition. That's $56,000 a year, but he didn't. He was supposed to pay $1,865 a month for groceries and bills, but he refused. While he was spending money on luxuries and trips, his family was drowning. Worst of all, he stopped paying the mortgage, allowing their $910,000 family home to fall into default and foreclosure. A judge ordered Justin out of the home by April 30th, 2 weeks before the end. Cerina was granted primary physical custody. He had lost his house. He had lost his kids. And then came the hammer. The court hit Justin with a $300 a day fine for every day he refused to pay what was owed. On April 14th, 2026, 2 days before it ends, Justin is served with paperwork for a hearing on Tuesday, April 21st. A contempt hearing, a date where he faced potential jail time for failing to pay child support and mortgage arrears. The walls weren't just closing in, they were about to lock. And here's the detail that will send chills down your spine. Back in 2022, Justin reportedly took money intended for his children's horseback riding lessons. He didn't use it for bills, he used it to buy a gun. And then April 16th, just after midnight, the home in the Camelot neighborhood of Annandale, Virginia, Justin went into a basement. Cerina was there. He fired several shots. She never left the room. Upstairs, their teenage son, Cameron, heard it. He came down, he saw his mother, and in a voice that should never have to carry that weight, he picked up the phone, he dialed 911, he told dispatchers he could see holes in his mother's shirt.
One of the children was the 911 caller just after midnight, so he described some things to us as well that we've since corroborated.
Pause. He's 16 years old. While Cameron was still inside, while both children were still in that house, Justin walked upstairs to the bedroom and turned the gun on himself.
I was thinking that his dad might have stabbed his mom, seeing that she's laying on the ground bleeding, can see holes in her shirt. Heard a fight about a minute ago, unknown where his father is now. Watch for a director en route. Fire department's gonna be en route as well. 012.
431 Alpha, we got another subject down in the bedroom upstairs.
Sure, 0023.
I think this is going to be our subject. He's got a firearm with him, self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
By the time police arrived and found the shell casings, both parents were dead. Cameron, 16, his sibling, 14, safe. But they had just witnessed the destruction of their entire world. The community in Annandale is shocked. Leaders across Virginia have expressed devastation, not just at the fall of a political figure, but at the loss of Dr. Cerina Fairfax, a woman who built her own career, a DIY expert who built her own furniture and a playhouse for her kids, a woman who tried to leave. She installed cameras, signed the postnup, filed the divorce. She followed every legal step available to her. She did everything right. And Vanessa Tyson and Meredith, 2 women who came forward years ago at an enormous personal cost, are watching a story they tried to tell finally being believed. Too late for the woman it mattered most to. Justin Fairfax's story will be a chapter in Virginia's political history. But Dr. Cerina Fairfax's story deserves to be more than just a footnote in his. She was a superstar, a mother, a woman who chose herself. Remember her name. Sometimes the danger is quiet until it's too late. May Dr. Cerina Fairfax continue to rest in peace. If you like this content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe.